Well, thank you all for coming. I know that you've been attending the parenting group and learning lots of wonderful things about how to parent your children and sort of have nice interactions, things like that. Today we're also going to talk a little bit about home safety, as the moderator had told you. So I'm Barbara Morangello from the University of Guelph, and I'm going to be walking you through a bit of a program that we've developed that parents report to being very helpful for them to keep their children at home and safe. So I'll start by introducing the Alter idea, and this is actually on the paper in front of you because we're going to be using this as we watch some home videos of children getting into things. And let's start by just looking at what the mnemonic stands for. So the A refers to activity. So this could be activity of the child or activity of the parent, and the idea is that you want to try and reduce risks of injury and sort of improve safety as a consequence of that. And changing the activity of the child sometimes can allow you to do that, or changing your own activity might allow you to do that. So A is to help you think about what's the activity and is there a way I can change something about it that would reduce risk of injury for my child. L refers to location, and again it could be location of the child or location of the caregiver, yourself. And sometimes we have chores or things we need to do, and the issue is then where do you need to be to do those things? And might there be a way that you can either change the location of the child to reduce their risk of injury, or change your location while you're doing what needs to be done to reduce the child's risk of injury? Okay, so we have to think in terms of location. T refers to timing. Sometimes there are things that absolutely must be done at this time, right now. Like the timer has just gone off and we don't want the roast to burn in the oven. But lots of times there's actually some variation in timing that could occur. And so the idea is to get you to think about the timing of your activity and if there's a way that you can modify that in a way that would reduce your child's risk of injury. And we'll talk about some examples of how we might do that. E refers to the environment, and the environment is sort of, think in terms of your home environment for your child, right? So maybe there are things that you can do to change the environment that would reduce your child's risk of injury. And we'll talk about strategies. So you might use a stair gate, or you might use something to attach the bookcase to the wall that would reduce risk of injury, right? So we're going to be thinking about what's in the environment where your child is and what might be hazards or things that could cause injury, what could be changed that would reduce that child's risk of injury. Okay, and the last one is R for resources. Sounds like a big fancy word, but really what we're talking about is what are things that you could call on or people you could call on to help you that might reduce your child's risk of injury. So if there's something that is going to be very attention getting for you and maintain your attention for a while, requires a lot of attention to detail, maybe that kind of activity could be done when your husband is home or your partner is home to help. So as a resource, you might use him or her as a resource. Another idea would be resources could be even looking online, right, to see, well, what do I know about how to attach something to the wall so my child can't climb on it and get hurt. So when we're talking about resources, hopefully give you lots of ideas on what we mean by that. Now Alter is something that we're hoping you're going to hold in your head as you go home. And the idea would be whenever you are, turning your back on your child, or you're walking out of the room, or something that your child is not possible to be in view, you want to try and think, Alter. Where is my child? What are the risks? And is there anything here in that ALTER strategy that might reduce my child's risk of injuries and hopefully still allow me to get done a few of the things I need to do, right? So we're trying to say it isn't the point, or it isn't necessary that, it isn't possible, so let's say it's not possible to watch your child 100% of the time, and we know that, right? And that's not the goal, but the goal is if you're not watching 100% of the time, you could still be doing lots of things that would reduce your child's risks of injury. So it's all about reducing that and hazard interactions to a minimum. Right? So what we're going to do is we're going to watch some video clips that will hopefully allow you to sort of get in the headset of the kinds of things we're experiencing at home. I'm a parent too, so I understand the kinds of things we experience at home. Children get into things, we have lives to live and things to do, and that's what we want to try and hopefully identify with some of the things we see and use the Alter strategy to problem solve, right? So we can all go home and keep things a little safer for our children.